Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we, I believe, are ready to deploy. Yeah, we are, because last episode was a short one. It was a very short one. Hopefully this one will be a little bit more complicated. Let's hop into the command center. We're still interested in building up our funds a little bit. We do have our financial report in 9 days, and we don't have our top tier mechs ready to go. So I do think that we should be aiming towards the easier side of the spectrum right now, rather than pushing into, target acquisition at this difficulty. Yikes. Not pushing into something like that. That is not a thing at this moment. However, this is a 3 million C-bill battle against Davian. That's interesting to me. Reason being, there's no free priority salvage here. Actually, there's kind of one here, but it's not ideal. Ideally, I like when both of these are at 1 priority salvage, but here we are. We could run it straight down the middle, and this is probably acceptable. I mean, this alone, in theory, minus costs, would pay for our financial report. So I think we'll go ahead and do that, and we may run into enemy units that are more than expected. We'll see. We're against Davian, though, so it's not going to be too many enemies. Let's go ahead and deploy this. The Mauler and the Awesome are both underweight, I'm aware, and Darius thinks that we should be fighting against, I don't know, fleas and locusts and Jenners. Darius is an idiot. A complete and total idiot. There's no doubt about that. But we're going to work our way back up to around that sweet, sweet 10 million C-bill slot that I like to sit at before we push the difficulty. And I'm also interested in getting our hands on some railgun ammo. This is not going to be the mission for that. But when we do, I think that we probably put the railgun onto the Corsair, is my current feeling. The Thumpers are definitely underwhelming. There's no doubt about that. We knew that even when we put that mech together, as it was. I do think that the Thumpers are better than the light Gausses that it was previously wielding, but it's by no means an effective mech right now. And once we get railgun ammo, that will definitely make things a lot better there. So that's, I think, the overall plan for the railgun situation. We're going to have to do more base attack missions if we want to get that. And that's definitely something we should be prioritizing quite soon. For right now, of course, we're just looking to replenish our funds a little bit after we spent a lot of them. A whole lot of them. So this will be fine. We are absolutely going to have no problems here, I don't think. We might run into a couple of issues. I don't expect there to be any... I don't expect there to be any aerospace fighters. That said, I've never expected there to be any aerospace fighters, and there have been. They definitely seem to be popping in around 8.5 skulls instead of around 11. So that's definitely something that we need to think about. But for now, we need to destroy the primary Davian Lance. We have a developing situation, Commander. A significant Davian force has dropped onto the planet and are currently moving towards critical Comstar facilities. We cannot allow those facilities to be taken. We need you to intercept this force and destroy them. To ensure this mission goes smoothly, we'll be sending a Lance of our own along on the mission. I'm not sure I like the idea of playing babysitter to a bunch of regulars, Commander, but I like the idea of being outgunned even less. Well, it'll be a Comstar Lance, and maybe they'll draw some fire. We'll see.
Online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Looks like we might be headed for some night fighting. Let's see if that's indeed the case.
Command interface initiated.
Significant enemy strength is expected. Okay. Cool. So there's our allies. We're under no obligation to keep them alive, but if they all come back in one piece, our employers may feel generous. 1 must survive an evac, 6 remain. Okay. So the primary Davian Lance is up over here, and we're going to be kind of pincering them. Now, they do have some decent LOS block here. I'd like... We could drop up with our Comstar friends. Like, down over here. That's a potential option. The game wanted us to drop over here. If we do that, we're certainly going to have some LOS issues. So I think if we drop over here, we'll probably be slightly better off. I don't know about these positions. We may have to do some careful maneuvering to get moving from there, but we'll see. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Well, we immediately see an Annihilator here. And as your standard moves up, this is a Gausszilla, Marauder 2, and a Black Knight. Only 3? Well, we're definitely expecting an allied enemy, or an ally lance for the enemies, is the term I'm going for here. Who do we move here? This is going to be the Longbow. Now, we don't have LOS over here, and that's probably a good thing. I'm actually going to reserve the Salamander here. It would be the Longbow that would be moving, of course. Okay, let's see what we've got as far as hit odds go. 18%, 14%. Okay, for now we're just going to brace. I should have reserved, but I wanted to see. Okay. So the Black Knight is moving in, firing on the Seraph, and fully missing. Okay. The Comm Guards should be capable of taking out that Black Knight, in theory. Maxim moves up, goes for the Marauder 2. Doesn't look like it achieves anything there.
Waiting on you, Commander.
At this time, we reserve and allow the Annihilator to move. Our friend the Atlas 2 fires on that Black Knight, gets a solid hit with the Gauss, and some LRM hits as well. Okay, this will be the Marauder, or actually, there is a unit that we don't see. Rear attacking our Corsair. That was...
Heavy fire here.
I should have turned around the Corsair, most likely. Our friend the Victor moves up, and this guy's located right here. Okay. The Gausszilla moves in, also goes for the rear attack on the Corsair. It does not penetrate the armor. We got a little lucky there. I'm not going to lie. That damage spread out very far and wide.
Yes,
cool.
Commander.
So the Madcat Mark II is going to position up over here.
I copy.
And we have pretty much free shots on the Gausszilla. We're going to Warlord it.
Here you go.
And the Gausszilla is now unsteady. Our friend the Ajax moves up and doesn't fire. This is now going to be their Marauder 2. He goes for the Madcat Mark II. This is okay. I was afraid that he was going to be able to get rear arc on the Corsair. That does not appear to be the case. The Bull Shark is going to move up over here. We are absolutely going to fire at the Gausszilla in direct fire long tom, and we're alpha striking this Gausszilla. I'm even going to Warlord it.
Now it's...
Nice. That's probably a knockdown on the Gausszilla, and indeed it is. We're still going to be firing artillery out over this way, because these two are grouped together, of course. Next up is our Corsair, which we definitely want to turn around here. The Corsair is going to fire at the Gausszilla with Thumpers in direct fire mode, and we will Warlord that. Way better hit odds on the Gausszilla, and we're looking for splash damage, so we're going to be firing high explosive ammo.
Confirmed.
Nice. Okay. Next up, the Salamander. The Salamander is going to move up over this way. I even maybe want to sprint here. This would make things somewhat difficult to shoot at this guy. But I think our improved MRM hit odds will actually be better than this from this position. Yeah, I expect them to be improved from here. So we're going to move up to here. We're going to get a Malice from sprinting as well as being in the mineral field. And yeah, that's way better. So we're going to Warlord and we're going to fire on the Marauder. We are going to use AX rounds. Now, we're not going to fire these two medium lasers due to heat. But otherwise, this is going to be a lot of damage to this Marauder.
Target locked in.
So he has a structure exposure now.
I'm your spaniel.
Our Boar's Head is going to move up over here. The Boar's Head is going to be also shooting at the Gaussilla. We will go ahead and Warlord that. And we're going to be firing in direct fire mode here. So that is a dead Gaussilla. And a lot of splash damage going into this stealth mech over here. Beautiful. He's also knocked down. What? He was already knocked down, but he was destroyed. Oh, it was this guy that got knocked down. Right, the king crab. Cool.
What can I do for you?
So at this point, the Mauler is going to move up. The Mauler only has one real target here. And these hit odds aren't amazing, especially with the Atlas right there. I think all we're going to do is potshot 2 ER medium lasers here.
Time to die.
And neither of them hit, but we also didn't stray shot. So that's okay.
Systems recycling for another shot.
Cool.
Standing by.
The Awesome is going to move up over here, and it will have a clear shot at this king crab. So that'll be fine. We'll go ahead and take that. We will Warlord it. And let's see what we get here.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Okay, we got a structure exposure on him. Inbound Leopard with Davian colors. That is unsurprising. We knew that that would be coming in. An IS standard, and the Seraph moves up, does not fire. The Maxim CCV moves up, shoots at the downed King Crab, and actually gets an engine heatsink crit there and takes out the Chameleon LPS. That is a huge deal, actually.
Receiving you.
That is enormous. We're going to move up the Salamander, and we're going to fire on the Marauder 2 again. This time we're firing the improved MRMs, because we already softened their armor a lot. Actually, we're going to fire the AX again. He does still have a lot of armor. We can't fire the ATM due to heat, but that's okay. Rack 5 ammo explosion there. And a knockdown on that Marauder 2. Very nice. And he actually ejects, so that's perfect.
Yes,
The Awesome is now going to move up over this way, and we're going to fire on the King Crab. We can't fire this heavy PPC due to heat, but the rest we can.
Taking the shot.
And that is one dead King Crab. Perfect. So all that's left over here now is the Black Knight, and we're kind of waiting
What are your orders, Skipper?
on the hostile drop zone. So we're going to fire on the Black Knight over here. We'll go ahead and Warlord this, and we're just going to see how much armor we can strip off. We are certainly better off running standard ammo here.
Accuracy through volume 5.
Okay, decent chunks of damage there.
I'm here.
The Corsair is going to remain in cover, and we're going to fire in artillery mode. We're not expecting too much here. We did get him unsteady, though. He does move instantly. Actually, not instantly. The Atlas fires on him. And gets a little damage in there. Now the Black Knight moves, and it fires on the Atlas too. I like it. No problem there.
I hear ya.
Now, our Mauler is going to move up to this position to be, like, we're trying to get into here, right? To be able to attack this hostile drop zone. So we're going to advance
Back
over
speed,
here.
No shooting.
We're not going to quite get there, but we're going to move in. Our friend the Victor doesn't do a thing. The Madcap Mark II is going to advance into the mineral field as well and sink its heat.
I'm ready.
The Bull Shark is going to remain in cover, and we're going to drop a Long Tom in artillery mode right on that Black Knight. He has very little armor left in the CT. That's definitely a solid amount of damage. The Ajax A moves up, does not fire.
Standing by.
The Boar's Head is going to dip over into cover, and we're going to continue to drop artillery on this guy. We could see the Black Knight die here, but I do expect to see it at least knocked down. Yeah, not great artillery hits there, but that is guaranteed a knockdown. Okay, so there's that enemy ship. We did know there would be reinforcements. Okay, so we see a Madcap Mark II, we see a Black Knight, we see a Maelstrom, and a Victor.
Yup.
Fascinating. For the moment, the Longbow is going to go for the kill on the Victor. We're going to not fire this enhanced LRM-15 due to heat,
I got you.
but that is a dead Victor.
Tango
The
is
secondary
trash.
Davian Lance is going to be able to be fired on from here, but I'm actually going to reserve
Waiting for the right move.
because that is not the mech that I want to be shooting right now. Now, this splash damage is okay.
Good to go.
The Salamander, I don't want to move until after they've moved. Same with the Mad Cat. The Corsair, on the other hand, absolutely can fire artillery into this Black Knight, centrally located.
Okay, I'm on it.
Beautiful. Good splash damage there. The rest of our mechs in Phase 22, we are reserving. Now, in Phase 19, we've got the Mauler,
What can I do for you?
which we again want to reserve. The Mad Cat Mark II, which we again want to reserve, and that's it. Okay. So in Phase 18, we now have the Bull Shark.
receiving you.
The Bull Shark is absolutely dropping a Long Tom right here. We're not firing the LRM-20.
Feel my wrath.
That was a solid Long Tom hit. I love it.
orders.
We also move the Boar's Head. This is ideal. Absolutely perfect. We're not firing this LRM either. And we no longer need to do any reserves. They are now all unsteady. So they're going to move something, but I'm not sure what yet. It's going to be the Maelstrom. Cool. The Maelstrom moves up, does not fire. It doesn't have LOS on anything. So the Awesome is going to position
Moving
here.
to position.
And our hit odds are probably going to be best on the Victor, is my guess. Now, we're going to have heat issues here for sure, if we fire both heavy PPCs, right? That's actually only a very small overheat. We'll take it. So that's the structure exposure on that Victor, and that's very
Loading critical
dangerous.
hit. My heat sinks can't vent fast enough. I'm
Okay,
taking damage.
so next up is the Black Knight moving. It steps forward and fires on nothing at all.
Waiting for
Our Salamander is going to... I would like to make it into the cover, but we can't quite do that. So we're just going to pop out over here.
Heading out.
Now, which of their units here has the most remaining armor? I think the answer to that is the Black Knight. So we're going to fire the remainder of our AX rounds, but actually our hit odds are best on the Mad Cat Mark II. And it's mostly its frontal armor here that is undamaged. So actually that's a good choice. We're going to fire on the Mad Cat Mark II with the last of our AX rounds.
Roger that. Target confirmed.
That's a lot of armor damage
I
to
am
him.
out of short-range missiles.
Well, it's MRMs, and you're out of AX MRMs. You're otherwise fine. The Victor is going to step forward here. They're still fairly close together.
Good to go.
Our Mad Cat Mark II is going to position up over here. And it can only see the Black Knight and the Maelstrom. Its hit odds are best on the Maelstrom. So we'll take this. Its hit odds aren't tremendous, but they're okay.
Yes.
Not too bad. Our allies are going to move in here. The Maxim is going to shoot at the Victor. It got a little bit of damage there, including some internal. Okay, the Atlas moves up. It shoots at the Victor as well. Also getting a little bit of damage out. Not a ton, but it's okay.
Waiting on you,
So the
Commander.
Mauler is going to move up here, and this is going to be in the mineral field, so we'll take a 2-hit Malice there, but we'll see what our hit odds are like. 70% on that Mad Cat? That's actually solid. We'll take it.
Got it.
That's a dead Mad Cat. Beautiful. 3 to go.
Run when you had the chance.
Who do they move next? That is our friend's Victor, but he does not fire. The Ajax moves up, does not fire, and now it's next round. Beautiful.
Confirmed.
So at this point, our longbow doesn't have direct LOS, but we could fire out this Victor, and we have a pretty good chance, actually, of killing the Victor. So I think we're just going to fire the enhanced LRM-15s and sink heat. We're not going to fire the ELRMs because this is not super long range. And we have a decent shot of killing him. And there we go. He's straight up gone.
Bye-bye.
Beautiful. Next up, our Mauler is going to step in over here. Hit odds are 29% and 32%. They're not great. And we're going to need to back off on the ER medium lasers. So we'll pot shot the Maelstrom. Ooh, we did hit one of those. That's solid. That Maelstrom's in a lot of danger now. The Magcat Mark II moves up, and hit odds are best on the Maelstrom. We're going to have to back off our heat generation, of course. About like that. It's not ideal under any circumstances. But that's a kill on the Maelstrom, so it's actually plenty good enough. I like it.
Target eliminated.
Cool.
I'm here.
So all that's left is the Black Knight.
Attacking from position.
This reinforcement lance got slaughtered. There's no doubt about it. We're not going to fire our heavy PPCs due to heat here and due to low hit odds, but we'll pot shot the rest of this. Not a lot of damage, and he is guarded, so fair enough. Our friend moves up and does a minuscule amount of damage, but it's okay.
Commander.
With the Salamander closing in, we have used up our AX rounds. I'm actually going to fire Tandem here. Do it. We'll get some internal damage. We could get a one-shot on him.
Locked on.
We did not. We did get a head hit, and he took a lot of internal damage. No doubt about that.
They will be
The
done.
Bull Shark is going to go ahead and drop another Long Tom on him.
Engaging.
Kaboom. And he actually panics and ejects. I don't blame him. That was not rough, Darius. Or, do you mean that was rough for them? Because that was rough for them. We got a little lucky with reserving the Corsair. That was a greedy move, reserving the Corsair. We could have lost it there. But we didn't. They never penetrated the armor. We got a little lucky with the Godzilla hit to the rear that nothing clustered together. There's no doubt about that. In retrospect, I should have turned around the Corsair and fired with the Corsair and reserved the rest. But it ended up working out, so all is good. That is not bad at all. Yes, the Corsair took some heavy armor damage, but everyone else is pretty okay. We could get ourselves some king crab parts. There's also dual bombast lasers here. That's hilarious. That is pretty hilarious. 3 Gauss rifles. A combat shield, huh? That's actually pretty good. We're going to take that. 14% damage taken. That's huge. More AX ammo. I wouldn't mind having that. I think I'm going to take a king crab part, though. So we get 2 Victor parts as well. We do get a Beagle probe. We do get the 2 bombast lasers. Cool. And a sniper sensor. That's good to have around. And a standard fusion engine. We'll get rid of that. So overall, not too bad there. I do expect that the Corsair is going to take a decent amount of time to repair. It took that full Godzilla salvo to the rear arc immediately after taking the King Crab salvo to the rear arc. So, I mean, I'm very pleased that that armor held. It was lucky that they didn't cluster better. But yeah, that's pleasing that that rear armor held against a Godzilla and a King Crab. I like it. Now, I wouldn't have taken much more, that's for sure. But we got the Corsair turned around and into cover, and it just didn't end up mattering. So yeah, getting that armor back on, that'll take a fair chunk of time, no doubt about it. But that was a solid deployment. I'm pretty okay with that, all things considered. 100k and 17 days, that's actually far less than I thought it would be. That's only a 10-day repair job. Wow. Okay. I actually think that we run this in descending. Like so. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is like exactly time to put a cut in. That's exciting. That rarely happens with RogueTech. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to get some of these repairs done. We're definitely going to take this financial report, and let's see just how far we get on these repairs. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.